Let's talk about Last Days by Adam Neville. This is the first Adam Neville book I have read, and it was pretty good, gotta say. Nice slow build up, and the ending was okay, but I did enjoy the journey going along with our characters in the story. So, what's this book about? You have two documentary filmmakers, and they specialize in the weird, the strange, possession, supernatural cults, that kind of thing. And they don't make these films to make fun of them or to, make a quick buck. They actually take it seriously and they want to find, they're always looking for the stories that can really get people, really capture something real, not just stories of people. In fact, there's parts where they're interviewing people in this and they're just kind of, they start rolling their eyes. You're like, oh, geez, we've heard this again. Here goes another, a crazy person talking about weird things that we're barely going to be able to use. But no, in this one, this story they get hooked onto, things are real and they can sense it's different than what they've been through before. So, how do they find this job? Kyle is our interviewer, our filmmaker, and he gets contacted by a guy named Max. Now, this guy, Max, he is going to fully fund everything and pay them £100,000 when they complete it. And Kyle's like, holy cow, £100,000, that'll clear all my debt. I can go off and do whatever I want. And the strange thing, though, with this guy, Max, he's already got all the interviews lined up. He tells them where to go and when to be there. Nobody does that. It's kind of like on your own schedule. He's like, no, he's like, you have to follow my schedule and you have to go where I tell you to go and interview who I tell you to interview. At one point, Kyle, the filmmaker, tries to interview somebody else, and the guy, Max, freaks out. He's like, what are you doing? I told you not to interview. Nobody told you to interview this person. He's like, whoa, we're just trying to get the story. And he's like, just stick to the places I tell you to go and the people I tell you to interview. All right, that's a little strange. But again, £100,000. All right, you're the boss. I'll do whatever you want. So they start interviewing people who are part of a cult back in the 60s. Started in Europe, went from like London to France, and then to Arizona in the States. So this guy Max has them all lined up to travel from London to France and then into the desert of Arizona. So from the first person they interview, I'm telling you, I told you, they start, kind of rolling their eyes. They hear some of the same things. Well, they finish the interview. They, no spoilers, by the way. I'm just kind of setting the stage here for you. They go out for dinner and a beer. They go back to this house where they interviewed this lady. And this house was the place where the cult was first established. This is where the people lived. So it has creepy vibes just for that. But when they go back that night, to get some B-roll, to do some narrations, strange things start happening. They see strange things. They hear strange things. Things so freaky that they actually run out of the house at night and don't come back until the next morning to grab their camera gear. One of the cameras, which happened to be left on all night while they were away, and then the next day they can go and look at it, and yeah, there's some weird things going on. At first, they try to, explain it off. Oh, it's probably this or it's probably this. It's an old house. Nobody's lived there. Da, 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 da. But the farther they get into it, when they travel to an abandoned farm in France, and when they go to the place where the cult came to an end in Arizona, more and more things they discover. And more do they find out that they are actually involved in the story. Or I should say, the story maybe is involving itself in them. And they've got to learn how to deal with that. And yeah, it's pretty good. This book, if you watch my last review, I did Little Heaven. And the problem with Little Heaven was it showed too much too early. Well, with this one, it was a nice, true, slow roll. It just gave you little hints here and there. It just slowly gave you more to where anytime something weird starts to happen, you're just locked in on the page. It's like, okay, what is it? What are we going to see this time? So I love that. That was very, very good. Some freaky instances, and our characters, no spoilers, right? I won't give too much away. Let's just say our characters, they realize they cannot just drop everything and be like, oh, you know what? We're not going to do this film. No, we're done. No. They are in it. They are in it. And the only way to get out of it is to go through it. So that's what this story is. They learn more and more about this guy who hired them, about the cult, of course. And yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. I will say though, and this might just be me, so don't go off everything I have to say about the ending. But the ending was a little lackluster for me. But again, I was getting high hopes from everything was building up, and I was kind of hoping to see some things that they talked about. Didn't quite get to see, but it was still satisfying. I did enjoy the book. Let me see how long this thing was. Over 500 pages, I believe. Yeah, like 530 pages. Very good. I think I read it in 5 days. So it's pretty good. A nice quick read. Was engaging and not too repetitive, and to where there weren't any big sections where I was just like, oh, come on, can we get on with it? No, it's pretty good, pretty good. So if you're looking for a creepy little story, like I said, not the best thing I've ever read, but not terrible. Not terrible. Better than Little Heaven by Nick Cutter. So if you're looking for a nice creepy story, check out Last Days by Mr. Adam Neville. I know he's got some other ones. I think he has a couple that are maybe more famous or popular than this one. So maybe in the future I'll check those out. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Why don't you go check it out? I think you'll enjoy it too. We are going to switch to spoilers now though. So if you have not read it, stop here, go read it, come back and check out the spoiler sections, which is starting right now. So let me put this down and let's talk about the story. There really wasn't too much as far as twists and turns, right? It's just the learning more, some revelations. I enjoyed, like I said, the slow build of first you get the imprint on the wall in the basement. And they talked about how there's no burst pipes. They've plastered over it or painted over it, and these imprints, these bony figures pop up. And then, of course, the noises, the dogs, the birds, even like a pig squeal in the house. Like, what in the world is that? And of course, that little spindly thing they get on camera in that first house. Then they go to the farm. And Gabriel, he couldn't bring himself to do much there, huh? Which, man, I don't blame him. Yeah. How much money would it take? Just thinking about the people who are in the cult. How much money would Max have to pay you to go back and insert yourself, which it sounds like maybe, well, I guess they were starting to be haunted by things again, right? They were far enough away from it. They left early enough not to be affected too quickly after everything went to poop. But things are starting to pop up and they're realizing, ah, crud, it's coming for us. So I don't know how much you could pay me unless you knew the end was near and you're like, yeah, you give me a lot of money. I'm going to go spend it and just live out my days until it finally gets me. So yeah, can't blame Gabriel. And of course you get the weird thing with that first lady had a stroke, died. And then Gabriel with the bear trap. And that house, more of the spindly things. And then that bed, that nasty bed up on top in the upstairs, again with the shutting doors and all that stuff. Then we go to Arizona. And that's where you learn about the scene, right? Where they're all kneeling, their throats cut, the people by the fence, and all that. I didn't think there was too much revealed there. I think there wasn't any big revelations like, oh, kind of things until you finally learned that, was it the clean boy? Was Chet, that movie star. And you're like, oh, that's him. Which I think it would have had more weight had it been somebody. Like, I was expecting Max to be something more. Or like maybe he was trying to lure them in to have Kyle be like a sacrifice or something. Of course, once you learned that it was a kid it was looking for, that wouldn't work. But I thought Max would be something more, not just someone who is haunted by this. So then we get the paintings, which are some creepy paintings, huh? And he's just like, you look them at one by one, left, middle, right. That was some creepy stuff. All of this was really creepy, right? And I think because it was all so creepy, I was expecting more at the end. I was hoping, I wanted to see more of the great beyond. Maybe it's hell itself. Because we get those weird moments in the bathrooms. Like, did we ever get a moment, maybe I forgot, where we actually see them coming out of the walls or going back in? I think maybe once we got to see one settling into, well, I don't remember. But, it's creepy, that one who was in that his hotel room where he spent the night outside between the Coke machine and the trash or something. And it was on the door on the inside when he ran back in to get his stuff. Creepy, creepy stuff. I can't imagine the lights being out and just like holding up your phone for the light on your phone and seeing that face at the end of your bed. Oh no, no. That creeps me out. I was reading, most of the time I read this book was at night before I went to bed. And I read that scene in the hotel where he was laying in bed and that thing was at the end of it with his light from his phone. I was laying there, lights out except for the little reading lamp, and I'm just like, oh, this is a bad idea, bad idea. But that was good. That was some of the good stuff from this book. Those moments were creepy, like in the house, and even just watching the footage of that thing go by. Ooh, creepy, creepy. The noise from the pigs and the dogs and all that stuff. It was really good, really good. Which was why I think the end was such a letdown for me. Where they go into the house, of course, there's more of the blood friends scurrying about. You just have to get through them. And then there's, what's his face, Chet, up there with this boy, just kind of laying down. And they just basically walk up to him and bang, 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 he's gone. And you're like, oh, that's it? I was hoping, because Dan, right? Dan goes missing. I was hoping Dan had been taken and there would be some kind of like, I don't know, poltergeist moment or something like up in the ceiling or somewhere, like a between zone where these things were coming out, the blood friends, or maybe having to get Dan back or seeing Dan. Because you read this book and it's like the pages are running out and you're like, we're still in this house. Nothing seems to be getting done. I'm like, oh, is this going to end with like not a happy ending? Like Kyle's just going to get sucked into hell or something, or become one of these things here on Earth. So I was kind of hoping for that, just because the pages were running out so quick. But no, it was just a quick go up, and there he is, and bang, 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 and he's done. And so I guess the other tense moment we get at the end, which I was trying to figure out. I knew one reason why he didn't want this, but when he calls what's his name, Finger Mouse, I forgot the name. I'm going to look it up real quick. What is his name? He doesn't want him to upload the thing. Finger Mouse, yeah, I remembered it. Didn't want him to upload the video, right? He's at the last moment. He's like, oh, nobody knows about this. Everybody who knows about this is dead. Max, Jed, everybody they've interviewed, Gabriel, yeah. And he's like, okay, so I can just leave the house and nobody's going to know about this. So that's when he calls him up. And that's why he doesn't want to upload it. But was that the only reason? Or do you think he also didn't want to upload it because he didn't want the story to be known and then have someone repeat it, right? Have somebody else be like, some crazy person be like, ooh, look at this cult, blood friends, and it's like, I want to get into that. I want to try to call them. So maybe two reasons there. So I guess we'll never know if he uploaded the video. So yeah, it was pretty good. Just my own personal taste. I was hoping for more at the end, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the writing style. Like I said, it moved along pretty quick. No real boring section. It was properly freaky in many, many parts. So I think I will read another Adam Neville book at some point. Since Little Heaven and that second Nick Cutter book wasn't too good, maybe I'll shelve Nick Cutter and try a second Adam Neville book before I go into another one of Cutter's books. But let me know down below what you thought about this book. And if you have read any other of Adam's books, let me know which one of them are good, if not all of them. So please leave your recommendations and comments down below. Like and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And I will see you next time. Bye.